Leaders are readers. Your mind is your number one asset, so you're gonna want to take notes on this one.
Mind your business. Bro, I stay out of people's business. I'm not into other people's business. I'm really focusing on myself, doing what I'm doing, building. And he said, Anthony, no, this is about your mind is your business. And how do you grow your business? You grow that by growing your mind, because your mind is your number one asset.
Now, before we hop into today's show, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's jump into the video.
Here's the major difference between wealthy people and middle-class people. What they are consuming. What are they reading? We've all heard the statement that leaders are readers, and readers become wealthier. There's a statement that came out a long time ago that I somewhat agree with it, that if you want to hide something from people of color, put it inside of a book. And I'll be honest with you all, up until maybe about a few years ago, I'll say maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I wasn't a reader, nor was I a podcaster. I would watch TV, I would watch YouTube, but I really wouldn't take the time to really read a book, to really educate myself, to really grow, and to make sure that I'm constantly evolving and growing. It wasn't until one of my good friends told me, Pastor E.C. Weston, he said, Anthony, mind your business. And he really frustrated me on that day because I was upset. I was like, yo, bro, I stay out of people's business. I'm not into other people's business. I'm really focusing on myself, doing what I'm doing, building. And he said, Anthony, no, this is about your mind is your business. And how do you grow your business? You grow that by growing your mind, because your mind is your number one asset. Your mind is your number one tool. And so when he said that, I really stepped back and I was like, yo, how am I growing? How am I evolving? I know everything on Instagram. I can tell you who's dating who. I can tell you who broke up with who. I can tell you all this other kind of crap, but I couldn't tell you what I'm learning from a book. I was around Dave Ramsey, and Dave Ramsey could read a book like in a freaking 2-3 days. I remember sitting in his office one day and said, yeah, I read this book like 2 days. I was like, wait, what? So I challenged myself to read at least one book a month. And when I started doing that, not only did my grammar get better, but I became wiser. I became more educated. And I can tell someone who's not educated because I can tell what comes out of your mouth. And so I'm gonna give you 8 books. 8 books that I need you to read this year. One book for this year a month. All right? So 8 books for this year, 1 book a month, starting this month, right? And so we're going to put these books in today's show notes, but I'm going to give you just a little bit of a breakdown of what all you will get from the book and what's all going to happen. Here's the very first one: The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. How to stay emotionally healthy and spiritually alive in the chaos of the modern world. This is written by John Mark Comer. And what I loved about this book, right, is that oftentimes we find ourselves hurrying. Like we find ourselves, oh man, I gotta hurry up and do this. I gotta hurry up and get married. I gotta hurry up and get rich. I gotta hurry up and get this. I gotta hurry up and get that. Because all we see on Instagram is everybody got it, everybody got it, everybody got it, everybody got it, but we don't see the process. We do not see what have people actually gone through to get there. And watch this. What we do not see is what did people skip over to get to it. And so what I love about this book, John teaches us how to eliminate the process of trying to rush to get to something. I remember I was around all these, wealthy people and man, I was like, yo, I need that car too. I need to stay in a house like that too. And I remember going to get my BMW because I'm around all these people who are driving BMWs and Mercedes and all that kind of stuff. Watch this. I got a BMW that came from water damage in Florida. So whenever I got the car, if I came to a complete stop at a red light or at a stop sign, the car would shut off. And because I was in such a rush to get a car to blend in with everyone else, oh, I got that too. Oh, I'm doing that too. It actually cost me more money if I just would have waited to the point of when I was able to actually afford it. But because I was in a hurry, it cost me more money. And I wasn't emotionally healthy. I wasn't emotionally secure in who I was. And I thought if I get this BMW, I'll be emotionally secure. If I get this money, I'll be emotionally secure. If I start this, I'll be emotionally secure. And that wasn't the case. And in this book, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling like there's a rush, if you're feeling like you're missing out, if you're feeling like, oh, I need this now, you need to get this book because it teaches you actually the power of patience. It teaches you the power of eliminating the process of hurrying. I'm a new business. I'm a new business. And I'm around people who are doing $15, $20 million a year. They got 20, 30, 40, 50 employees. And because of this book, I was actually able now to just, you know what? Yo, I'm happy with where I'm at. I don't need to rush there. Because if I rush to that point, if I rush to getting somewhere that honestly I should not be at today, it will actually cost me more money. It will bring more stress. You know why? Because I don't have structure in place. And if I don't have structure in place, it actually hurts me in the long run. So that's book number 1, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, How to Stay Emotionally Healthy and Spiritually Alive in the Chaos of today's modern world. Here's number 2, Cashing Out, The Wealth Game by Walking Away. As y'all can see at the very top of this, you know what I'm saying? Your boy fully endorses this book. This is by my good friends, the creators of Rich and Regular. This is a great book for everyone who is, especially in the Black community, right? It's definitely for people who are living an everyday life and you're ready to just live the life that you want to live financially. This is not really like, how do I say it? This is not the book that you want to read if you want inspiration. This is the book to read if you want practical steps on how to cash out, on how to really win in the wealth game. I think I have 4 books around money, 4 books around mental, because here's the truth. I can give you all the money books in the world. But if you are not taking the time to grow mentally, internally, all these money books mean absolutely nothing. When I'm looking at the chapters of this book, and I read the book on their pre-book, right? You know, I love their first call out is, you know, the wake up call. It's really just helping you understand when to wake up. But what I really love about this book is they break this thing down into pretty much two sections. The first section is how to rethink about how to reprocess how you think about money, right? And then they break this thing down into the daily struggle. What I love about the daily struggle part is, what was my favorite chapter in here? Yeah. Put your money to work. The average person doesn't know how to put their money to work. We know how to struggle. We know how to put our time right in so we can work, so we can get the money back. But in this book, they're teaching you how to put your money to work to buy back your time and to make more money, right? Then they teach you freedom starts in your mind. That's the truth. If you don't believe internally that you can be free, if you don't believe internally that you can have the financial freedom, you can have the house, you can have the cars, you can have no debt, that doesn't matter. Anything and everything that you're really, really, really wanting starts with your mind. And my friends over there at Rich and Regular, who have an amazing podcast, who have an amazing show, they actually did a TV show as well, and they have a podcast with Success Magazine. I love what they're doing. I fully endorse this at the very top. And I just love how God is really using them. This is a great book to read with even you and your spouse. If you're married, it's a great book to read with you and your spouse, because they're a couple and they're talking about how they work together with their finances. They believe in the 50-50, really the 100-100 method. They call it 100-100. Some of us call it 50-50. They believe in a method of husband and wife bringing something to the table together and how they combine that and build wealth off of that. So this is a great book, Cashing Out, by my friends over there at Rich and Regular. Hey fam, quick question and we'll get right back to the show. Are you tired of worrying about your money? Are you tired of hidden fees and long waiting times for your paycheck? Look no further. You see, with my friends at Chime, the #1 most loved online banking app, you can say goodbye to all that and say hello to stress-free finances. You know, with Chime, you get paid up to 2 days early. That means no more waiting around for your paycheck, no more worrying about unexpected fees like some of these other banks, and no more credit checks or large security deposits. Chime is all about providing you with the financial freedom we all deserve. Don't take my word for it. I want you to try Chime out today and see for yourself why it's so loved by many of our friends. Visit AnthonyONeal.com/Chime or click the link in today's show notes to get started and take control of your finances. Speaking of your finances, let's get back to today's show that's helping you. Peace out. My next book comes from my good friend, one of my closest friends, and my personal pastor, Pastor Stephen Chandler, called Stop Waiting for Permission. So thousands of these books, week 1, but God created you for greatness. And I think what I love about what my close friend did in this book, right, is oftentimes we're waiting for others to confirm what we already know we should be doing. We're waiting for permission from our bosses to think differently. We're waiting for permission from the world, from our friends, from our society, to do the things that we know we're already called to do. We're waiting for permission to be great. We're waiting for permission to be accepted. And if God fearfully and wonderfully made you, you don't need permission from anybody at all. You need permission from God. And I promise you, if you're waiting for permission, you know, if you're waiting for permission to really live the life that you want to live, no, I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. One of his premises in the book is, harness your gifts, find your purpose, and unleash your personal genius. All of us have gifts, all of us have a purpose, and all of us have our own genius. Some people may say you're not a genius. Some people may say you're not a thought leader. No, bump that. You have to believe in yourself, right? And what I really love about this, a lot of people don't really understand how to really unlock their purpose. And one of his chapters inside this book, what chapter is it? Chapter 4. Chapter 4, he teaches us the keys on how to unlock our purpose. When you can unlock your purpose, you unlock your path. When you unlock your path, you unlock your profit. That's not even in the book. That's not even a book. But that's how I feel. When I unlocked my purpose, my assignment, then I was able to put a clear path to accomplish my purpose. When I put the clear path on that accomplished my purpose, it unlocked profit for my family. And if you're waiting for permission to unlock your purpose, if you're waiting for permission to unlock what God put inside of you, that's probably why you're living paycheck to paycheck, because you're still waiting for permission. So in this book, he's going to teach you why you should want greatness, the importance of having no excuses and how to get over your excuses. He's going to teach you how to fuel yourself so you can get on the road trip to greatness. He's going to show you the steps on really how to really understand your purpose and unlock your purpose, right? He's going to really teach you how to do it big and not just alone. How you can do it big and how you can surround yourself with the right people. But I'm also going to show you that if you're going to have progress, you're going to have pain. But here's how you deal with the pain so you can have progress. Because I don't know anybody who's built something amazing, built something great, right? And did not have pain. Pain from losing friends, pain from having to walk away from a job, pain from maybe having to walk away from your business, pain from having to experience something. But because of that, watch this. Ooh, ooh, where there is pain, there is progress. Where there is pain, there's progression. Probably one of the best books I've read. Y'all have heard me say this before, but I personally needed this book. Because I remember being told, you're not a thought leader. I remember being told, you don't have what it takes to build what you think you want to build. And a part of me came home and a part of me believed what they said. And I remember God telling me at that time, they're right. You're not a thought leader to them. I remember coming home and God was saying, you're right. Anthony, I specifically made you for specific people. The individual who told you that you're not a thought leader, I didn't make you for that particular individual, for that particular group of people. But there are a group of people who I made you for, who would think you are a genius, who needs what I put on the inside of you. So stop trying to worry about what they said. Worry about what I put on the inside of you. Worry about why I created you and who I created you for. Continue growing, continue evolving, and you will bless and attract the people who I've called for you. And when I started reading this book, it just confirmed inside of me that there is a unique genius on the inside of me. And everybody has a unique genius inside of them. But how are you unlocking it? And this book blessed me tremendously. This is going to be in the show notes. Here's number 4. Made from Scratch. What I like about this book by my mother, Mignon Francois, I call her my Nashville spiritual mama, right? She's one of my spiritual mothers. This is the editorial copy because the book comes out in a couple of weeks. And so I want you to get it. I recorded this show probably like a week or so ago. And so I don't have the actual hard copy. This is the editorial copy, but it's out now. And we'll drop this in the Amazon link as well. But her story is amazing. And the reason why I want you to get this book is because she walks you through how to use your story and your journey to bless people. Mignon is the owner of the Cupcake Collection. She started with $5, homeless. I won't say homeless, but she started with the last $5 she had to her name in a home. And she started with a husband that really didn't agree with her. She started with kids. She started with no lights and with stress. And today she has one of the best cupcakes in the entire world. A team of 20, 30 people working for her full time, traveling around the world, sharing her story, sharing her journey. Debt-free today. And I think what I love about my spiritual mother's book, Made from Scratch, let me keep this right up here so y'all can see it, right? Is, y'all, she went through physical abuse in her relationship. 8 kids, 6 of them, 7 of them before she was 24, had one more by the time she was 28, graduated college, failed at a lot of things in life, but never gave up on life. Never gave up on her dream. Didn't know how to cook. Now makes some of the best cupcakes in the world. I want you to think about this. She used her journey, she used her story to impact the world through cupcakes. And she talks in this book on how you can use your story, your journey, however you want to do it. By the way of her story and her journey, she will show you how you can use your gifts, your talents to impact and to inspire the world. Had her on the show. We'll make sure we'll link the show as well. Michelle, make sure we link the show with her book, because I want you to watch the show. I want you to be inspired by her journey. And this book will help you understand that no matter what you've done, no matter what your past is, no matter what God has allowed you to go through, all of it is still for a reason and a purpose. And how do we take advantage of that? Get this book. Get this book. Studies are showing nearly right now, currently in the year 2023, that nearly 70% of people live in paycheck to paycheck. When you dive deeper into the study reveals that out of that 70%, a large portion of those are people who make over six figures. These are people who are living paycheck to paycheck because of inflation, because of job loss. But a lot of people saying, man, we have an income problem. And here's the truth. We don't really have an income problem. We have a lack of utilizing our gifts and skills problem. You have the skills, you have the talents that God put on the inside of you. And I want to ask you this question. I want to be very honest. Are you utilizing them correctly? Or are you just going to work, getting that check, coming home, and not really utilizing your gifts and skills to build wealth to pay off debt? Well, listen, I am hosting a 100% free masterclass here with the next few days, and I'm teaching people how to build a personal brand, how to use the gifts and the skills that God put on the inside of you and turn that into an extra $1,000 to $5,000 a month to go towards paying off debt, to go towards, building an emergency fund, to go towards building a dream home. But I'm going to go even a step further. What if you can use the same principles I'm going to be teaching for free? You make an extra $1,000 to $5,000, but what happens if you could turn it into a six-figure income or maybe a seven-figure income within the next couple of years? Well, if you are ready to take control of your money, if you're ready to utilize the gifts and the skills God has given you to build a legacy, to build wealth for yourself, can you meet me? I want you to go to AnthonyONeal.com/save my seat. Again, that is AnthonyONeal.com/save my seat. Or you can click the link in today's show notes. It's 100% free. Come join me. Let me show you how we, my team and I, built a seven-figure brand and how we can put $1,000 in your pocket within the next 30 to 60 days. I'll see you soon. Here's another one. That number 4. This is number 5. A lot of you all hear me say that I do not do anything outside of term life insurance, right? And this is a great book called Getting Rich: How to Avoid Being Ripped Off by the Insurance Company by Dr. Dennis and Elaine. And this book was actually, it's a quick read, as you can see, right? It's a very quick read. But you guys, a lot of you all are thinking, oh, I need to get a whole life insurance policy and get a whole life and do investments out of it and pull from it and borrow money from it when you're getting ripped off. Term life insurance is the best life insurance out there. Whole life insurance is not the best life insurance. You shouldn't use life insurance to build wealth. That is not a wealth building strategy. You're getting ripped off. And inside of this book, they walk you through everything. Complicated equals costly. Like, they literally walk you through everything. They're going to give it a glossary terms: beneficiary, cash value life insurance, whole life, permanent life, variable life, universal life, UL, which UL has become very popular here lately. They literally walk you through, here's exactly what it means, and here is why term life insurance is the best. I would encourage you to get this book. It's a quick read. You all can get this book. How many pages is it? Hold on. It's 95 pages. And look, like, they even walk you through to where, I don't know if you zoom in. Well, you can't zoom in, CJ. Don't worry about it. They even walk you through some of the stuff here, right? To where it's like, boom, you're filling it in. So it's not just a bunch of words, but they're also giving you stuff you can fill in for yourself. This is a book to where if you really want to make the best decision when it comes to life insurance, this is the book that is impactful. This is the book that's going to help you really understand why it is important. You don't take just my word for it. Get this book. I learned something from this book that I didn't even really know. Get it. Getting rich. Term life. Today I am debt-free and where I am today financially because of the man that gave me, 6 years to be on this platform. 6 years to be on this platform to learn, made some mistakes, coached me, him and his team coached me through those mistakes. And I read his book years ago, years before I joined this team, The Total Money Makeover. And just last year, he came out with a book called The Baby Step Millionaires, How Ordinary People Build Extraordinary Wealth and How You Can Too, by Dave Ramsey. And I think I like this book better than I like his Total Money Makeover book. I think this is one of Dave's best books. I think that this is a book that everyone needs to have. Because I think as I'm building on my own, right, what I have learned is that a lot of people think that if they're going to be a millionaire, they got to leverage debt and that they have to have a large income. And what I love about this book is that Dave did the largest study in the world on average everyday people, school teachers, firefighters, accountants, police officers, social workers, average everyday people who make average everyday income in between like $60,000 to about like $90,000 a year. And he was able to study and figure out how did they build a net worth of $1 million. Because here's the truth, you guys, just because you have $1 million coming in a year doesn't mean that you are a millionaire. If you have $1 million coming in a year, you make $1 million. But if you have $1 million going out a year, you're not a millionaire. Millionaire is, do you have $1 million in total assets? Does your net worth equal $1 million? Investments, assets, bank accounts, and your income. Your income does count. And what I love about this book is he literally walks you through the baby steps of how you can build wealth using his baby steps. And here's the truth, you guys, it works. It works. It's working for me. I think George Camel on his team. I don't know if anyone else. I haven't been there lately, but I do know for a fact George Camel worked the baby steps from 0 all the way up to now baby step 7. He literally paid off his debt. Literally built his emergency fund. Literally paid off his mortgage while working for and working with actually Dave. So when I hear people say, "Oh, you can't build wealth that way," that's BS. That's crap. Everyone thinks because I'm out on my own that, oh my gosh, I don't 100% agree with Dave. Hey, listen, I don't think no one 100% agrees with anybody. But here's what I do agree with Dave is his philosophy on getting out of debt. On his philosophy on really how to build wealth and how the average everyday person in America can build wealth. So he literally walks you through his 7 baby steps. He's literally walking through in this book, some of the behavior statements, and I want to go through one of them. I read it here. Let me see here. He's literally walking through what were some of the behavior things that some of the millionaires do. Millionaires, for example, weight averages of behavior statements. One says, I have a long-term plan for my money. Millionaires Close to it. Millionaires have a long-term plan for their money. They plan for upcoming expenses. They live on less than they make. They never carry a balance on a credit card, and they stick to the budgets they create. Like, this is hands down one of the best books when it comes to really understanding how millionaires think. And here's the thing that gets me when I hear people talk about Dave. Like, his message is not for everyone. And I sit there and be like, man, his message is for everyone. Now, are you going to adapt and adjust certain things for yourself? Cool, great. But we got to get out of saying that this won't work for me. What won't work for you? Financial freedom? What won't work for you? Paying off your debt? Because here's what I do believe. I believe a lot of people who leverage debt are over leveraged. You're trying to follow what TikTok is saying. You're trying to follow what Instagram is saying. Oh man, leverage debt. Use other people's money so you can keep your money and build as well. No. Sooner or later, you're going to be over leveraged and you're going to be hurting financially. There are ways to becoming wealth. And I don't know about you, I would rather build wealth and keep the wealth when I get it. And that may mean I have to move slow. There's nothing wrong with moving slow. Nothing wrong at all. I don't want quick money. I want baby steps. I want baby steps. I want baby steps. Real quickly, the last two things. The greatness mindset, unlocking the power of your mind and live your best life today by Lewis Howes. And this was a great book. We actually just did a show with Lewis Howes, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but this book was phenomenal. I think he did close to close to 10, 15,000 books his first week. One of the best books by Lewis Howes. He's a New York Times best-selling author. But really it's about unlocking the power of your mind and live your best life today. I told you that everything starts mental. If we don't believe inside, if we don't believe that we are great, if we don't believe that we have the gifts and the skills and everything, then we're not going to be great. And I had him on my show to talk about it. We'll make sure to also to link this show as well, so you can get a copy of this book, but also watch in more detail about this book. But I promise you, this book will be a life-changing experience for you and a life-changing read, honestly. So get this book, The Greatness Mindset by my boy Lewis Howes. Put that on there. Last but not least, and I think that this book, you guys, will change your mind. Every time I read something, I try to find something that helps me understand the African American world better. And I really love this one by Dennis Kimbrough. It's called The Wealth Choice: Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. This book, I actually bought this book on audio because it was so long, right? And so I wanted to listen to it in the shower. I wanted to listen to it while I was working out. I wanted to listen to it while I was driving. And then I got into it. I was like, yo, I want to highlight some things. This actually just came in the mail the other day, and so that's why it looks so clean, right? But I really, really love the books because it talks about the true nature of wealthy Black people. It talks about the faith and spirituality side that they practice, which is Christianity. They really talk about how the Christian aspect has helped a lot of the Black millionaires today. This book will challenge you. There are some things in this book, I'll be honest with you, that I don't necessarily agree with when it comes like leveraging debt. I'll be honest with you. But what I love about this book is it's giving me the mind of several Black people in this book, several wealthy Black people. And I want to encourage you to get this book because here's the thing. Why not learn from other wealthy and inspired African Americans who will inspire you to build wealth? I finished the book and I love it. I'm actually going to read it again so I can go back and highlight some of the things that I really, really enjoyed about this book. Because one of the things I loved about this book was they really harped on how Black people are the most creative, but we don't have ownership. And in here, they're talking about how do we actually become owners, Black owners, and keep our same creativity. and stop selling our creativity outside of our community and own the creativity, hire more creative African Americans, and teach them how to own rather than keeping them to solely work for us. One of the best books, Think and Grow Rich, The Black Choice, another good one, but I would definitely say this is like neck and neck with Think and Grow Rich. What are some of the chapters in here? I can't remember the chapters off the top of my head. Let me look at them real quick. Some of the chapters, decisions. Resolve now that you will not be poor. That chapter right there, dope. Make a decision now that you will not be poor. The haves and the have-nots, the difference that makes a difference. Everyone says, I'm different, but really, how are you different? One of the things I got from this book, and they didn't really say this in the book, but your difference should make a different. No. Yeah. If you're different, it should make a difference. Everyone says I'm different. I'm unique. Okay, cool. If you're different, it should make a difference. I'm different with my money approach. I pray that me being different, my team and I being different, it makes a difference in your life. And here he talks about the difference that makes the difference and how we need to change how we look at money. Then here's what I really love that I think a lot of us in the Black culture needs to really learn. Wealthy people learn how to serve people. Wealthy people learned how to serve people. How do you serve? How do you serve? I have a heart for single parents. We give to them often. How do you serve? One of my good friends, Sarah Jakes, was raising money for, I think about like 20 young ladies who want to go to college debt-free. So that way they're not graduating with a bunch of debt. I sent them a check for $10,000 to sponsor one of the kids. How do you serve? I was at a conference, and at this conference, this young lady got up and she was pitching her clothing brand. It was a Christian clothing brand, trying to win a book. She just wanted to win a book. So whoever came out with the best pitch got a book. Immediately, God dropped it on my spirit and said, give her $1,000 towards her clothing brand. I gave her $1,000. When I gave her $1,000, she got like $4,000 by the end of 5 minutes. Because when I gave her $1,000, my difference sparked someone else to give her $1,000, sparked someone else to give her $1,000, sparked someone else to give her $2,000. Are you a trendsetter? Does you being different really make a difference in the world? You see, wealth is not all about how much do we make and how much do we keep. Wealth is about how are we giving back to our community? How are we giving back and inspiring and making a difference? And a part of me knew if I step up and give her something, somebody else gonna give her something too. I just had to be willing to be different and stand up and start it. And I've always wanted to make sure that as God is building my wealth and building our company, that we can make a difference. Because some of the most wealthiest people lose their wealth because they're selfish. Because they do not want to serve people. They want to be served, but they do not want to serve. And I refuse to be that guy. I refuse to be the guy that God has blessed, that God took from the back of his car, that God took from Oceanside, California, that God took from Fayetteville, North Carolina, from 4 loving, hardworking, everyday people in the military, in the Marines. I refuse to be the guy that came from, bare minimum, that came from survival mode to where I'm at now, to where we are thriving. And I am not serving people. I am not helping people. I refuse to be that guy. And you know why I refuse to be that guy? Because I want to be talked about in the book. I want to one day be featured inside of a book called The Wealth Choice Millennial Edition, Success Secrets of Millennial Black Wealthy Individuals. And I want to be inside this book, and I pray that they talk about how generous he was. I pray that he talks about how he wanted to make sure that his staff members and his team members, they were making 6 figures plus and building a net worth of $1 million. I want to talk about how much he wanted to make sure that his kids didn't live paycheck to paycheck, and that his kids, when he passed, he set them up to win. And one of the greatest ways to build wealth is to read. And I want to challenge you to get these 8 books that will impact your life, that will change your life. And I promise you, you'll thank me later. I promise you. The Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbrough. The Greatness Mindset by Lewis Howes. Baby Step Millionaires by Dave Ramsey. Getting Rich by Dr. Dennis and Elaine. Made from Scratch by my good friend, spiritual mother, Mignon Francois. Stop Waiting for Permission by my best friend, Stephen Chandler. Cashing Out by Rich and Regular. And A Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark. We'll drop all the information in today's show notes. We'll see you in the next show. Peace out.